What's up, y'all? It's John Master Lee.
And Lulu.
You know, we've been making this YouTube stuff happen now for the last year. We really got into it in 2019. And I wanted to share with you all how we made our first $500 in our first YouTube paycheck. Something that you don't even know about at this point, but it's important that if we were to continue doing this, that you get up to speed.
That's the 2020 goal for me to understand money, right, John?
That's right. What does it take to actually earn money as a YouTuber? Because a lot of thought actually went into this, and that's one reason why we were able to make $500 in our very first month, which is a pretty amazing goal.
So walk us through it, John.
So let me give you a bit of a background of what it takes to be a YouTuber. For you to get your first paycheck, you can't just start monetizing right away. And so I've had this channel, React to the World, which used to just be called my John Master Lee channel, for a good couple of years, just posting stuff up here or there. And for the most part, didn't make any money. It wasn't until this year that I decided to post every single day that it started to move into that I can make money from it territory. So boom, this first paycheck reflects what you can earn the minute you start monetizing. So when that happened, I got pretty lucky in the sense that one of the videos I had posted up just exploded the minute it started to take off.
And that is?
Can you guess what it is?
Reaction!
Wrong!
Oh, not wrong!
No. As I've said over the last year, reaction videos for the most part actually don't make a lot of money for a lot of different reasons. The short story is that you're reacting to copyrighted content. So for the most part, a lot of this stuff is just going to be claimed by some big company and they're going to make money from it. Thus, our first paycheck, the majority of it actually did not come from reaction videos. It came from one video that I made back in 2018 of all things.
How to make a video. How to become a YouTuber.
I didn't make any video in 2018. What are you talking about? At this time, I actually had 2 channels that were going on. And at this point, we actually have 4 total by the year end. I actually don't advise most people to do this because it's a hell of a lot of work. I did it because I wanted to test a number of different things, try different types of content, go into very different niches. And that's why I'm kind of sharing this information with y'all as a way to share what I've learned along the way. So I had my John X Lulu show channel, which has been mostly about our vlogs from, leaving California, moving to Las Vegas. That was the real big thing for us in 2019, which is try a lot of new things. And our second channel, which ended up evolving to a reaction channel, which we actually did a lot of videos in. So with these 2 channels added together, our earnings with our first YouTube paycheck was $501.41.
Wow.
I have mixed feelings about this because from one standpoint, this is a really impressive first month. Like most people would not see this kind of earnings in their first month when they monetize on YouTube. But at the same time, you kind of have to look at it from the other standpoint, which is before I started to do YouTube this year, I was making 6-digit figures already, right? And I had a really good income. And the shift towards becoming more of a YouTuber and a content creator versus a software/game creator was a big shift. For me, every minute I spent on this versus say the career that I typically had was actually giving up money. I could have easily earned a lot more money if I did more consulting work inside the software space that I'm normally in.
Right.
So you kind of have to look at it from 2 standpoints, but I'm really happy with this because what it did show was validation. It showed that I could actually build something from this, that if I continue to invest in it like a business from the ground up, that it could potentially turn into a huge source of income for us, if not a whole lifestyle change for us. And that's what I was looking for. That's why I want to invest so much more time into this. Between the 2 channels, I actually had one video that I created that I posted to both channels. And at that time, I kind of wanted to see which one did better, right? Is this a kind of video that something that it was more entertainment or is it more education? And so the video that really took off for us was going over the cost of living in Silicon Valley, the Bay Area.
Oh, I see. I remember that video.
Yes, that video itself had generated almost $300 in that first month.
Wow.
Cost of living is out of control.
Because the rent is too damn high.
what's amazing about it is this video was actually something I created back in 2018 when we still lived in Silicon Valley. And it didn't do anything for a long time.
Right.
And in fact, it was content that I had repurposed from a bunch of other videos that we did, that we went to visit a bunch of different apartments, a bunch of different houses. Because at that time, we're thinking about, well, what if we settled down in the Bay Area, right, around San Francisco? And as we started to look around, we realized, actually, it's getting crazy here. The cost of living was something that required both of us to have really high income just to sustain. And so it got me thinking of, potentially moving. And that's how we set about this whole adventure of traveling the world and then settling in Las Vegas. But that video, when I posted it up, I think back in September 2018, for many, many months, nothing happened.
Right.
Which is, disheartening. And so I didn't actually make a follow-up video to that. But boom, sometime around May of 2019, it just exploded.
Whoa.
And I started to do the research and I finally figured it out.
Right. Why?
One is that when you talk about places to live, that interest in real estate, that interest in looking for a new apartment happens in the summertime, right? Because that's when most people go look for a new apartment or a new place to live. And so my video started to take off during that time period when people are looking. So in other words, it was very timely.
Searching,
it was trending.
Studying.
Exactly. So that took off. And because I talked about a very hot subject matter at that time, which was a macro trend in the Bay Area, it's about the cost of living. It was getting out of hand. And they continue to talk about the fact that, renting a 1-bedroom apartment there on average is over $3,000. I wanted to show people, well, this is what you get for $3,000. And so people wanted to see that. So boom, that video took off and it generated so much money. On average, that video had generated about double the CPM of, say, my reaction videos. And CPM is basically how you measure income per 1,000 views. Because right now, all of our earnings come from ad revenue from YouTube. And, a typical video can do, $1 per CPM to $10 per CPM.
It depends.
Huge range.
Varies.
Yeah, it's big time difference. There's a lot of different factors, but I'll give you an example, right? This video that did really well for us in San Francisco. Well, everyone that wanted to watch it are people who want to move to San Francisco or live there, which means that they're high income earners, they're highly educated, chances are they're in the tech field. In other words, they are highly prized demographic that advertisers want to reach. So the CPMs for that one were close to about $9 or so, right? So that's definitely on the high end. And you're also talking about real estate, which is also another category, a niche that has very high CPMs, very high ad rates. So you combine those two together and then boom, even a video like this, which did about, I think at the time, about maybe 90,000 views, I could generate, a couple $100 just from that, right?
Wow.
Good money. Take a look at our reaction videos, and we've done a good number of them, and some of them actually have done pretty well for us. In fact, we had a couple reaction videos that we created that had generated, like, say, 300,000 views.
Right.
They're from different countries, like Indonesia is really popular, India is really popular. We have a lot of fans from Sweden.
That's right.
But our number one video is not even top 10 in terms of money generated.
Making money.
Yeah. Because it was a video from a country that typically has very low CPMs. The cost of living in that country is so low, thus the cost to advertise is very low, which means that most of the people that watched that video came from that country. I made very little money. Film companies, especially music companies, are so aggressive about taking claim of their copyrighted material. I can't make money on any of that stuff. It's just instantly gone. So that is one of those things where it really got me to think about, all right, where do we focus? Do we continue to do reactions from all over the world, or do we just go to where the money is? Maybe we should just make videos about Silicon Valley because you can make a lot of money from it. And I struggled with this actually for the whole year about, like, what do I do? Because we're not just doing YouTube for fun anymore. Like, for me, this is a viable alternative towards a living. Like, this is something I think that if we really wanted to go hard at it, if we really want to make it work, we could make our lives take off as YouTubers, which means we have to think about the money aspect.
Wow, interesting, very important knowledge lesson. It's also motivational. It motivates me personally to work harder and to know that YouTube is not just for fun, it's business.
It can be a way of life.